Brad Trost, you rose and you spoke to that, and you said that you've been threatened, that people had said to you, you're going to vote this way or else you're going to lose your next nomination.
Well, that won't happen because I am pretty popular in my own riding and supportive. Look, we can disagree. From my perspective, very different than what Michelle's is. I respect her and so forth. But the traditional family is the bedrock of society. You cannot have a functioning free enterprise society without it. So those are the arguments for it. From a political perspective, I view this as just becoming liberal light. And what's the point of having another liberal party? So politically, I think this is a bad move. And policy-wise, I don't support it either. Look, we need to have the nuclear family, otherwise you have the social welfare state replacing it. Free enterprise and the traditional family go together.
Brad Trost, your two caucus colleagues, you're standing side by side, but you're so polarly opposed on this issue. I mean, would you encourage social conservatives to walk away from the party?
No, because I'm not walking away from the party. And people like me, next election, I will say homosexual marriage, gay marriage is wrong. I'll be public about it. I realize it's not going to be something we're likely to vote on in my political career again, but it's a principle I'll be public with. There'll be a lot of MPs. I suspect this will work its way into nomination races, the next leadership race, and so forth. For me, it's not just a matter of politics either. It's a fundamental principle. The language of equality and comparisons, to me that's socialist language, the way they do it. The same way they talk about equality of income where they want to tax from the rich to bring them down to the level of the poor. So I completely reject the underlying philosophy behind this. This is something both policy-wise and politically dead set opposed to. But no, this is my party too. I'm not going to be shoved out. Look, this was about which side was better organized. My side probably took this a little bit too much for granted because we'd won so much. We'll see what happens if it makes it to plenary.
But going into the next election, your party, I mean, okay, first of all, this has got to go to the plenary tomorrow, but going to the next election, what does your party campaign on? What do you campaign on if this passes the plenary tomorrow?
Irrespective of what it is, I'm campaigning as a defender of traditional marriage, period. I suspect, knowing Saskatchewan MPs, that will be the overwhelming, if not unanimous, view of our candidates in the province of Saskatchewan. Other areas may do that. Look, when me, Stephen Harper, and all these other people who now were supposedly opposed to human rights back then voted one way, we respected 3 different MPs to vote the other way. If I remember correctly, it was Gord O'Connor, Sylvia Boucher, and I'm trying to remember the other one. We still worked with them, and we were still friends with them. We didn't run them out of the party. I suspect if this does go through all the way, the people who supported this are not going to try to kick me out of the party.
The question is, can you comfortably inhabit a party that has no position on defending the right to life, that has no position on defending traditional marriage? Can you still be a conservative?
I do, and a lot of the conservative candidates do. And I don't doubt there'll be at least one, if not more, candidates who actually, in the leadership race, takes those positions.
But you're still comfortable being a conservative?
Look, of course, because I didn't change my positions. I'm not changing how I'm voting in the House of Commons on any of these issues. You could have flipped the question around to Gordon O'Connor or Sylvia years ago. Were they comfortable in a party where everyone but them and one other MP, I'm trying to remember who it was, voted differently? Look, I'm a big boy. I can handle this, as will most. Again, for veteran MPs, this is like, Michelle's a rookie. She doesn't quite understand what all went into this. Look, both on fundamental principle and politics, I think the activists who orchestrated this are wrong.
So is this going to be then a major issue in the leadership campaign?
I don't know. I kind of suspect it won't be a major issue as the top of a line, but it will impact people. Let's be pretty blunt. I did take check of who was going to be in the room. I really like Maxime Bernier, but after his position today, I will not be supporting him. There's no way I will support Kelly Leitch either today. I think those 2 lines have been underlined by what they did in this room today. I'm not the only MP who's going to feel that way. Look, I like Max, I like Kelly, but they were in there actively supporting this. I'm sorry, those 2 are off my list.
So who's the social conservative candidate of choice then in this leadership race?
We'll see. I know both Andrew Scheer and Jason Kenney are kicking it around. I know both of them have supported traditional marriage strongly in the past, so it's possible it may be. Now, I don't think that's going to be the only issue. If I remember correctly, Peter voted on both sides of this issue on the 2 times when it was in the House, so we'll see. But at this point, you know what? People like me do take note, and I think other people should take note too about who stands for your values in the party and who doesn't. I mean, it's not a threat. That's just an observation of people I will work with, but I disagree with on this.